Hiya, my name is Angela and I am from the Sheep Tree. I feel like I have been absent for a little bit. Two reasons, well, one reason, life. The main reason is I had to take Gin dog to the vets and I've just been concentrating on her. She's absolutely fine. She's just got a cyst and has some medication to sort that one out. But then following that, I was also taken out for a day and a half with a migraine, which again, my fault, because when I was concentrating on Gin, I neglected myself and didn't do what I needed to do to stop the migraine from happening. So I've got jobs that need doing, as usual, so I thought I'd talk to you whilst I'm mucking out the chickens, because despite not filming, I've still been doing all the... Oh, hello, chicken. All the seasonal tasks that need doing, except for mucking out the chickens. That's one that got put on the back burner. So anybody that grows stuff will know it is currently harvest time, which means putting up stuff for winter. So I have, I should have brought a list out with me. I have done my first can of sweet corn. That was a test to see if it was ready. It's edible, but it's not quite ready, so I've put that on the back burner for a bit. I've done some tomato sauce for pasta. Mainly I've been saving herbs and dehydrating various things like squash for use in the winter. Something I do need to do is pickle some eggs. I have a lot of eggs now. I've got these 3 extra girls, and I've just had eggs for breakfast. I eat a lot of eggs, but they're getting on top of me a bit, and I quite like pickled eggs, so I'll probably do pickled eggs this afternoon. What else am I doing? I've finished my compost heap. That I have popped in a video and popped online for you guys if it's of interest. The normal thing, like moving the sheep on. Yeah, I can't remember anything. Anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to muck out the chickens, and if I think of anything as I go, I will let you guys know. So I've just remembered something that I did do. One of my to-dos has been to start a tincture. So I've started watching and very much enjoy the Honey Homestead YouTube channel, and they are predominantly, it's a homesteader, but she's predominantly, her channel is now about herbalism, but she is very scientific in the way that she approaches things, which is excellent because that's how I approach things, so I can completely get on board with what she's talking about. And she did one on feverfew, and I've got feverfew growing in the garden, and I've been meaning to set up a feverfew tincture, and obviously having a migraine sort of reminded me. So that's not going to be good for me to use for weeks yet, but I did set it up. It's in my cupboard and it is being turned every day. I actually keep it in the same cupboard that I keep my coffee cups in, so when I go to get a cup of coffee I'm reminded to turn my my feverfew tincture. And next to the feverfew tincture is actually my fire cider, which I also started. Don't know whether I've mentioned that in any videos, but I started that last week. So again, that's not, I mean, that doesn't need to be ready until cold and flu season kicks in. But yeah, that is one that also gets turned daily. You come back in to help me. Ooh. Oh, I've also added to my dilly pickles. So I've had a lot of cucumbers growing, so I have got, I don't know how many jars of normal. I opened up the normal, and they've only been going for 2 weeks old, and they taste amazing. So I've made a batch of chili dilly pickles. So that's just got added chili flakes to the brine. Excuse me. I'm going to scoot yourself out of the way. Oh yeah, that's something else I've done. I made some pesto. Just one little jar. Sorry, the chicken's being very loud. One little jar of pesto, and that is now in the freezer. And then something I want to do today is, that was traditional pesto made with basil, and I used cashew nuts, but I didn't add any dairy into it because I can add the dairy to my pasta when I'm eating it. But what I plan to do today is make a nasturtium and spinach pesto. And again, I'll store that one in the freezer, and I can pull that out when I fancy using it. Alright, so I have mucked out the chickens. I will be leaving the run to air out a bit before I will then add back in some DE and then the bedding on top of that. But now I shall pick some nasturtium leaves for my pesto. I just spotted there's a little caterpillar here, so I'll check the leaves before I pick them. Because ultimately I did plant the nasturtium for the butterflies and the caterpillars because it saves my other veggies. But they do seem to have done fairly well this year. You notice I'm being quite ruthless here. These are actually growing over the top of some kohlrabi that I planted, so they're kind of swamping them out, so I don't mind hacking off this particular area of nasturtium. They should be sort of staying back there a bit. But I will leave these because they've got some flower buds on them, so if they flower, I'll nab those. Right, and onto the spinach. Here I've got lettuce, spinach and beetroot. How they're actually doing. Not bad. This is a perpetual type spinach, so it kind of looks, I think one of the other names for it is beet leaf spinach. So it might not necessarily be the type you're familiar with, but it is essentially the same thing. So this time, rather than checking for caterpillars, I'm checking for slugs. With all the rain we've been having, slugs. They haven't done that much damage in my garden, but they are everywhere. I mean, you can see a couple of holes in each of these leaves, but so long as they're clean, they're going to be blended up, so I don't mind. Don't know if it'll come in shot, but there's a little bird. So there's two of them. I'm not sure which one this one is. I think it might be the baby robin. There's a young robin that follows me around the garden, and it's just behind the camera now, literally about a foot behind the camera. And he might come over. We'll see. I did notice him in my compost video. When I was spreading the mulch onto my herb garden, I noticed he made an appearance. Sorry, Bernie. Right, that'll do me for spinach. What I'm also going to do whilst I'm here, because actually under this there is a row of spring onions and a row of pak choi. I'm going to harvest some of the lettuce to dehydrate and make some more green powder with, because I've got a few things that need to go in the dehydrator and I don't like to run the dehydrator empty. Right, so we've got a load of lettuce leaf greens just from this row. I've got quite a bit more lettuce growing around the garden that I shall wash. I will, for the purpose of what I'm doing, I will cut the stem out just because it holds more water and would be more time in the dehydrator, and I've got plenty of greens. And then that will make chicken snacks, and then I've got a pile of sort of gone over or slightly sluggy greens that will go straight into the chickens now. Right, chickens have had their snacks. I'm going to go inside and sort out that pesto in a bit, but before I go, I'm just going to check the squash patch, because I'm sure there must be courgettes in here that I haven't spotted, so wish me luck. It's a bit of a jungle. What did I say? It would have been something I didn't spot. There you go, that's my squash haul. I'll take into the house and add to the pile. You've also noticed I've got some kohlrabi, the tail end of that patch, that need dealing with. So whilst I'm making my pesto, I'll have a think about what I'm going to do with those to make the best use of those. But yeah, sorry for not really filming any particularly interesting tasks recently. Like I said, life has just kind of got in the way. And thank you for sticking with me. Bye.